Okay.
I think we're okay.
Okay.
Huzzah! Oh, this is the medley, the Japanese gaming medley here.
This is the Fefer remix.
That was awesome. I like you. You're all right in my book, Fefer. Oh no. You know what? I mean, not that it really matters, but my desktop audio is not recording in OBS.
Dun dun dun. What the hell?
There you go. There you go. Talk.
Hi, how are you? This is Fefer from the VGXL podcast reminding you to listen to the podcast.
Thank you for being here.
Look
Look at this. My mic and the desktop audio were not doing anything. That is crazy.
Wow,
So
you was about to sabotage us.
no, because I told you I got a backup audio. That's the beauty of.
That's true. That's the whole point.
Yeah. So if I would have recorded for the next hour and a half.
It's that time again.
Woo!
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Yes. Oh no, what am I supposed to do? Welcome to the next episode of VGXL. I'm your host Daniel, aka Games. Joining me again is the beautiful Fefer from the channel Fefer. And today we're going to be going over lots and lots of stuff. But if you're not already, please follow us at VGXL Podcast on Twitter or Video Games X Life anywhere else to scream at me directly. And where can we find you on Twitch, Fefer?
You can find me at Fefer on Twitch. Fefer Plays on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
All right. Oh, man. So, yeah, after that crazy week of Summer Games Fest, more stuff happened and more video game news.
It just kept on coming, didn't it?
I know, just kept on coming. So nice. When video games just keep coming. That's my favorite kink. Lots of video games.
That's when I enjoy myself.
Exactly. Hey.
Hey, yo.
Oh, man. And that's when you light a candle and play a little Final Fantasy 14. But yeah, so how you doing, Fefer? What you been playing this week?
I'm good. I played I did take off Wednesday this week because we did have our fireworks at the park thing up here in New York. They do a nice thing for each of the boroughs. They light some fireworks. They have like a little event, a little bit of live music at the parks. So I did take a break and we did go down there with the kids.
Yeah, that was fun. I had a good
enjoy.
time seeing the family and
Yeah,
hitting mosquitoes off of us and talking crap.
Oh my lord, yes.
It was really nice. So I enjoyed.
It was really nice. Yes, it's always a yearly tradition kind of that we go and all see that at least that once a year.
Exactly.
So that's fun. It's fun seeing everybody. But on stream, I did play a few new things. So I did play from the Wholesome Direct. I did play Freshly Frosted, which is a really cool. You have to. It's a puzzle game, and you have to set the path for your donuts to flow so they can get the correct toppings and then get shipped out and boxed and gone. And it made me very hungry throughout the whole time I played it. I was craving donuts for the following day until about 2 days ago.
Got some donuts.
We finally got the donuts. They were haunting me. But it's a really
gods.
cute. Yes, exactly.
You must eat.
They were delicious. But the game is really cute, very fun. It's it's one of those games you play when you just want to chill out. You just kind of think a little bit. You got to figure out which path goes where, how you want to do it, and all that. And then once you get it all going, it plays some really nice music alongside the motion of the donuts kind of flowing down, and that's really fun. Other than that, we played Mago because it finally released. That's a really fun platformer. It's kind of like Mario game, and that it's just really fun. That one, a YouTuber by the name of Pepe El Mago, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not saying the wrong name. Um, he and a team made this Mago game. It's finally out. I only played a little bit of it on stream. I actually played it a few months ago as well, but now that the release is out, I went back to it again and played it a little bit more. That's definitely fun. Other than that, I did actually play and beat the Tribulation Entanglement.
What's
So
that?
Tribulation Entanglement from Primordial Mass.
Is that
So
starring Will Smith or
you
Jada
know what?
Pinkett?
Exactly. And I was making jokes, and I'm like, oh, I hope I don't come out and get Will Smith on stream here, but I
Oh,
kept on
get
making
slap.
that
He's gonna
joke.
slap you to the.
Yeah. So the Tribulation Entanglement on their Steam page, you're in a night of feverish, like nightmare dream. That doesn't make sense, but nightmarish fever nightmare.
Right.
And it reminded me, it gave me like Elden Ring light. You okay over there?
Sorry. There's all these bright lights. The little flies from outside are like
The little tiny ones. I
yeah,
know.
they
I
keep
hate
jumping to
them.
the. You could always tell it's one of those like green ones or it's always those little outside bugs.
Yes, yes. No,
Always
I know.
find the light. Yeah, sorry about that. You can see me waving. If you're watching the video, you can see me waving my tennis racket zapper. I was about to smack my man up. Pop, pop,
This thing's a
pop, pop.
lifesaver for us, not so much for the mosquitoes.
Exactly. But go on.
Um, but gave me kind of like Elden Ring vibes. It's like a Souls like, it feels like, because then it's a platformer horror game.
Wait, is that the one you played yesterday with the little
Yeah,
guy
with
or
the little
whatever?
guy, with the little thing, and then yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that looked like a Castlevania demake of like the original Castlevania, like an Atari version of
Yeah, if I'm not
Castlevania.
mistaken, Castlevania is one of the games
Inspirations.
that one of the inspirations for
That makes
that game.
sense. I mean,
So,
yeah, that makes perfect sense because I mean, if you really think about it, Elden Ring is pretty much like a Castlevania kind of game. It's bad
exactly.
guys and bosses and puzzles and shit.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it was. You were a platformer, you had all these wild looking monsters coming at you. One of them had like a mouth and it was flying and it pooped on me. It
It had a
didn't poop,
mouth.
but it was
What a
yeah, it had a
description.
mouth. It's weird.
What
It
that
was
mouth
just
do
weird.
though?
It had a mouth, no eyes, nothing else, just a
Oh,
mouth,
I
and
see.
it
Okay.
was just hanging, and then balls shot out from the bottom and stuff. It's
Hey,
weird.
yo.
And then even the dev is like, wait for the angry the angry hamburgers, the evil hamburgers, and it was just yeah, it had a lot of crazy monsters in it. But I had a good time playing with it. So I would say it's about two shut
Too
up.
easy. Too
It was
easy.
about 2.5 hours long, more or less, I'd say. And it was really fun. I did end up beating it on stream. I was very confused by the ending. So if you decide to go and play that game, check it out. At me, Pfeffer plays on Twitter and be like you can just join me in my confusion and be like, what the hell did I play and why did you recommend it? Because we like confusion here. I like weird things. So you got to get with the ball here. You got to get with it.
Didn't you say who made that game? Wasn't it somebody that was like their first game?
Primordial Mass. I think that is their first game.
Oh, didn't you? Then whose game were you playing? They're like, oh, this is like the first game that they made.
First game that they made.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
not the first game that they made ever. Like before they made a modern game, and this is the first.
Oh no, that was yesterday. That was yesterday. The Scott whatever
Yeah.
his name is, that made the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff,
Yeah, there
made
you
this
go.
other game. We were watching Discordia Dystopia stream.
Oh, sorry. That was at the end of the night. That's right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
that
already
was
half
that.
asleep. That's right. Because I conked out, right? Right. You were still at the computer. I
Yes.
just went right to bed. I was like,
I
yeah.
know. I was so invested in that gameplay with Discordia. I was like, this is such a cute little coffee pot.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Sorry
because it
about
had little
that.
eyelashes and stuff like that. And I was looking at it. It was just really cute. What was his name again? I'm gonna find his name. Scott. Scott, whatever his
Bail.
name is. No,
Scott Hall.
not Scott Hall. I hate you so much.
Oh,
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
Reza Ramon, okay?
Damn it! I was about to say, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Not Scott Hall. Razor Ramon. My bad.
He will always be Reza Ramon to me, okay? The
Well, when
bad
I
guy.
started watching
That's
wrestling,
okay.
I started when he had a. I started watching wrestling at the height of NWO and them coming over from WWF at the time to WCW or vice versa. And yeah, whatever happened, and when they were warring, and you had the outs, and he was part of the Outsiders, and he did the Outsiders Edge instead of the
Ah,
Razor's Edge. He did the
okay.
Outsiders Edge. That's where I first came
Ah,
in. So he was always Scott Hall to me because I came in dumb late to wrestling.
I see.
Yeah, I used to love the games. Watching it, it was okay. I was never a fan of watching it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those things that when you're growing up, and you're told when you're 5, oh, that's all fake. I just couldn't get it. No, nobody around me enjoyed or taught me how to enjoy wrestling. So all I saw was two guys pretending to fight, and it was just always weird to me.
Oh, I enjoyed watching it.
Like
I don't
sometimes, yeah, don't
as a
get me
kid, I'm pretty
wrong.
sure I didn't know it was fake. So I was just watching it, and once I got old enough, I was crushing on them and stuff on Reza Ramon,
Like I
because he's the
said,
bad guy.
I watched some that were fun. Like once I learned how to watch it, then I got into it. But that's why it was so late because it wasn't until the games, and then I wanted to see them in real life. Not in real life, but the real person, and
Yeah,
see their
yeah.
moves and watch them do the moves that I did in the game. So it was like I got into a lot of them, and then we would talk about it in school. So I don't know how we started talking about wrestling, but yeah, I don't know. It's
Yes.
something I feel like I wish I appreciated more than I do. You know what I mean? It's sad, but it's like I can't help that. I've tried, and then now modern wrestling. I just feel like I'm too late at this point. You know,
Yeah, at this point I'm over it. I think I lost it once I stopped watching after like The Rock
enjoy
and
your
Steve
gaming.
Austin and the Hardy Boys and all that, and then Dudley Boys.
But are you enjoying your gaming? Sorry.
I know, now I kind of lost it for The Rock just in
I
general.
know. I was a fan of The Rock
Right?
until that big sellout
Yeah.
moment of like, I drink this energy drink every time in my I'm paradise.
I know,
Like
like, dude, you got tons of money. You're really selling out right now hard for this
exactly. Like it ain't
Nova
the
drink.
first time you get in a bag. You got bags after bag. I get
This
go
is
after the
Scrooge
bag, but
McDuck.
you know what it is? It's business. That's what it is. I think he probably owns or has a big share. I bet you. Like he probably owns
I'm
that. So it's
sure.
like he's selling his business, and I get it, but it's like you still don't even need to do it that hard though. Like you're already super
Yeah.
famous. All you have to do is say put out a statement on any magazine and be like, or do one interview, and everybody will know like, oh, The Rock's making energy drink. Like to come into the
Exactly.
video game people who drink energy. I get it because they're gamers, but he could have did something a little more.
They could have done it
It was
differently.
very out of.
Look at me in my iron paradise.
You have
Look
to
at all
understand.
these chicken. Like
Exactly. You gotta understand, like gamers are a different breed of people, and they're you hear this on other podcasts all the time. And if you've been following Twitter, like fanboys showing their dicks to fucking developers because they didn't, they're not giving up updates for fucking God of War, and like people really fighting with these idiots because they can't wait. So gamers are weird. They're either very and I throw myself in that. Like I feel like I look at things a little bit more down to earth, and not every gamer's down to earth. Don't get me wrong. Like what am I trying to say here? I just feel like the fanatics are very fanatic about gaming, and
they're passionate.
yeah, very passionate people in the things that they like. And yeah, some people might have liked what the hell The Rock was doing, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like you didn't have to do all that. You could have did something a little bit more I don't know, get somebody else to just do it instead of being a fucking dickbag and enjoy your gaming. That, like I
Exactly,
said,
because that just felt like a commercial when it was like, "Hey, let's go see what The Rock is doing when he's over here, blah blah blah. Hey man, I'm here pumping iron, enjoying my energy drink. Enjoy your games, nerds." Like he might as well have just said that and I would have been like, "He called us all nerds." you know?
exactly.
I would have had more respect for that.
Right? Like he just shit on us. Like I don't really game. I'm telling you the truth. I really don't game. I just you like you. I know gamers like energy drinks. You want to drink it, go ahead. If you smell what the Rock
Exactly.
is cooking, like whatever. Uh,
Imagine that could have been the downfall of the G Fuel whole freaking thing that just happened.
right? Everybody went to the
Oh
Rock's drink. That's it. G Fuel is over because of
my
that bad
god.
commercial.
Advertising does work. Oh my god, we're not
What's
worthy, The
sad is
Rock.
that it probably did. It put that bad commercial put brand awareness, and he doesn't care to play the role. And maybe he knows. Maybe he
Yeah.
knows maybe he's purposely playing the cheesy sellout on purpose. His, like I said, in that show called Young Rock or whatever, he's taught to always play the role always. And that's you always have to be acting, and maybe it's just an act for him. He don't give a shit. Like, yeah, you think I'm corny? I'm still super rich. Like, give a shit what you
Yeah.
think about me.
You're welcome.
Exactly. Like, I'm like, and that right there, I got paid only that, but now my shares went up and this went up, and like
Yeah.
who knows how much money he made looking like a dick bag. Here, we're bitching, but it's like,
Exactly.
what it does. Like, I guess get your bag, Rock. Get your bag.
Exactly. We can't hate too much. We can just joke the shit out of it though.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So La
enjoy your
Roca.
gaming.
Ugh. Anyway, so this week, speaking of big rocks, I've been playing Monster Hunter, grinding up. That has nothing to do with big rocks, but I just wanted to segue into something. Uh, so so yeah, Monster Hunter Sunbreak, the expansion to the much beloved Monster Hunter Rise that came out on Switch and then on PC, came out this week. I've been playing. I know Fefer, you fell off, and you're not gonna take the time to jump back into the addiction and the beauty that is Monster Hunter, and I get it. It's fine. Um, but I've been
I
enjoying
want
it.
to.
I know
It's kind of
Steam Deck
tough.
has really like saved me. Like, I've been able to do half the reason I have all the weapons I do is because I can do a quick fight before bed. Jump into bed, join a party. Now everyone's back on it, so it's the traffic is. When I first started playing a couple of weeks ago, it was hard to get into a party. All of a sudden, every time I have a monster to fight, I look for what my routine is to look to see if anyone's hosting first, and if they're not, then I'll host a game, and then it's either it always hosts, or when I'm hosting the game, I get a full party like immediately. I don't even eat. Like, you have to eat before every fight, and I don't even eat in the main place. I go to the map first so that I can kill time so people can join my game immediately before I even eat. They're already joining me. I'm like, what the hell? Like, you're just sitting there waiting. like yo,
That's
it's
awesome
been it's
though.
been nice. It's been nice. So there's that. Then Sunbreak released. It's a whole new little camp hub area. So you start with that. The only thing that killed me, and that's not really spoilers, but is that when you there's a reason you leave the main town to go to this new town, the kingdom or whatever, and then as soon as you get there, they're like, oh, let's go back over to Kimura, the main place you just spent the last year and a half killing monsters at. Let's go back over there because we got to fight something. No, not even before you get to the new place, you got to fight. Oh, there's a new monster that's here, and it's like, okay, and you got to kill it in one of the old areas that's been around. So I'm like, come on, I just want to see the new stuff already. So you got to fight this. I think it's a new monster. So I mean, at least there's that. It has to be new. So it's a brand new monster that's from the expansion. You got to go fight him, and then once you fight him, then you get the reason why you have to go over to the new place. So I'm like, all right, and then they're like, oh wait, we got to go back over there to do an arena fight, like because there's no arenas here. So everything, if you want to do arena, it's still gonna be over there. Like, okay, so let's
We're
go
never
back.
going to this new
I
place.
know. And then you finally get to the first new place, and it's like that's the only new place you have unlocked right now. So it's on one new map, one hub, and one new map so far. So far, I've been trying to grind a little because I have no money. So I was grinding some cash today. or whatever. I had to get a special like suit that has like that is, it was a whole thing too, so I can grind for Zenny. But
Okay,
yeah, but
okay.
so far it's been fun. It's been fun. But yeah, that's pretty much all I played all week. I played a little bit of Neon White today.
Mm.
It seems cool so far from what I played. Like very like it's just first person parkour, but on very small maps. It's a puzzle game. It's a
Mm.
it's an
Okay.
FPS puzzle game. So
FPS
you just have to
puzzle. I like
yeah,
that.
run, jump on a few things, kill some monsters, and get to the end. That's it. Every map should be like 30 seconds to a minute. It's
Oh,
really quick.
cool.
It's really quick, and you want to beat the times or whatever, and be the fastest on the leaderboards.
Oh, that's actually really
So
cool.
I know. After I saw her a little bit, at first I was like, because I got that other game, the ninja one, I forget what it's called. It's the one where you like it's first person. I think I streamed a little bit of it. We have to jump on different walls and slash people and
Oh,
all
I
that.
know what you're talking about. Not messengers. That's a different one.
That's a 2D one.
Um,
But
I
yeah,
forgot what it's called. I know what you're talking about.
so yeah, I ended up that one is similar, very similar. It's like you got to go kill things, but it's Ghost Runner. There you go.
Ghost Runner.
Yeah, so Ghost Runner, you have to slash people. It was fun. It was okay. I don't know. I lose it for those games because then you start getting to the really hard puzzles, and I like to get good times and do it right. So I end up just getting
Mm-hmm.
frustrated, and I don't have the drive to continue. Maybe so I bought it was $20 on sale, $22 on sale. So I was like, when I heard 30-second like levels, I was like, okay, see, I could fuck with that. That sounds like something like, it's meant, easy. It's like one of those games that very easy to play and a little not hard, but like the challenge is mastering the level and the controls. So I'm like, I definitely and the overwhelmingly positive reviews. I was like, all right, let me try this game out. I'm
Oh
hearing like
yeah.
game of the year contender stuff with Neon White, so
Okay.
that's the one you might want to try that out. It's being raved about in different places. And it's another one that the fanboys are not talking about because they're fucking fanboys, and I don't even know if that came out on fucking on anything else. If that came out on only PC or Switch. Neon White's on everything.
Neon White is it's on Switch,
Yeah, I know.
Steam.
But yeah, so even if it is everyone has a Switch door or something that could play that game, and I just feel like nobody's talking about not like nobody in the fanboy world is talking about that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's unfortunate because that's a game that it's so far it's really fun. I still like I said I still need to play a little bit more of it, but it just feels crazy that it's like not being talked about. Um,
Oh,
what?
wait. So wait, no, wait a minute. Neon White is Annapurna,
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that when you asked me because I didn't know at first.
and the developer. Oh, because I just saw an article that said it's developed by Ben Esposito. Ben Esposito did Donut County.
This is his game.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Donut County. That's the hole, right?
Yeah, the donut. Yeah, yeah, the whole. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that was a pretty big game. Okay, that's cool.
That is cool. I guess I slept on this one.
Oh, it's a
I didn't
FPS too, and
realize.
you're not really into FPS. That makes sense. Also, that's cool. So,
Yeah,
Donut County guy made that. Oh, and it's a hit so far.
that's cool. Oh yeah,
So yeah, I suggested throw your patches on and maybe I don't know, maybe you'll like
I'll
it.
give it a try.
Oh
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like you can try from my library on your Steam Deck because you mostly play with controller, so you can see how well you do on controller. It's
That's
really
true.
quick levels, and it's just so you probably even if you feel a little bit like you'll be done with the level.
Okay.
So
I'll give it a try definitely
yeah,
because I know on my Steam Deck I tried just beats and shapes earlier
yeah,
this week because our son G Money has been like, oh, this game,
I know
I get
I
this
haven't
game.
tried it yet. I need to
It's
finally try that
fun.
game.
It is fun. The beats, they immerse you. The beats, the music is really great. You're doing everything. Everything's moving around to the beat of the music. So you're trying to dodge stuff and stuff is shooting out on beats and stuff like that. So it's really cool.
Yeah. No, that's
It's
cool.
fun.
It
It's
looks
definitely fun.
really cool. Like I definitely want to get into it.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, I think you streamed that direct, right, from these people?
I didn't stream the Puppet Combo Direct. I was looking forward to it.
Oh, I
Um
asked you earlier. I said you streamed it, right? I thought
you know
okay.
what? Because I mixed it up because I thought you meant the Nintendo showcase. I did the
Oh, I see.
Nintendo Direct. But the Puppet Combo was that night we did it. Oh, we did. I mean, I did stream it through Discord. We did stream it in the Discord. Um, but I was very excited for that because they were showing a bunch of different things. It seems that at the last second they kept one of the announcements for sometime later this year. So I want to know what that is. I'm sure anybody who's a Patreon member for them gets to see everything first because like all these things that they have here that they announce to everybody or what's coming to consoles or anything like that, people in the Patreon group hear it first. So a quick rundown. Bloodwash, who was Jordan, I keep on thinking Jordan Knight because I'm freaking New Kids on the Block. Jordan King, Jordan King, who did Bloodwash. Bloodwash is coming to consoles. Yay, good for them. So then there's another one. They announced Stay Out of the House. You're traveling, your boyfriend disappears, then you get abducted and you get stuck in this house by the abductor. And you gotta find
Ooh.
your way out. And then as you're running through the house, there's a grandma and a baby that can tell the big monster, mad, crazy guy where your location is. So you gotta be careful and you gotta find your way out.
Oh,
So that's kind of
and before you continue, I just want to remind anybody who, because we have our friends who come in and listen, who may not know, some of these names. So Puppet Combo, if you don't already know, they make PS1 inspired, graphic inspired games. So all their games are all in 32-bit, very pixely looking, like I said, literally PlayStation 1 graphics, and that's how they're stylized, right? And I think that's
yes, that's
really
their aesthetic.
awesome.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
you do have the option in Bloodwash to change that though. So you can have the grimy screen. You can have it in high definition if you want to, and you can take all that static off your screen
Well,
too.
yeah. Oh, but no.
They
Well, it
give you
does
that
it.
option.
So it does it in static, but regardless, the graphics are still
Yeah, the
PS1
yes.
polygons. Yeah, it's like
Yes.
yeah. But what you're saying is that then you can play it with like a filter over the screen, like
Yeah, exactly. Because it'll start off like an old slasher flick. So you got like it
right.
looks like a VHS you're watching. But then you can change that so it'll be just clear HD looking. It'll still have the old PlayStation visuals for the rest of the game, the polygons, like you said. But it'll be just clear.
Yeah, it'll be
So
cleaner. Yeah,
it's
you won't be
cool.
watching with a screen filter. No, that's really
Yeah.
cool.
That's really cool that you have that option. I chose to play Bloodwash with that fuzz on there
No,
because it just
yeah, that's the
adds
style.
something to it.
No, and
Yeah.
the last thing I just want to say is just we said this offline. Just like I never would have ever thought that this would be a thing that actually is enjoyable. Like the graphics aesthetic, because it's like I said, things like Link to the Past, Super Mario
Mhm.
Worlds, even Sonic the Hedgehog games, they all hold up to this day. That there was barely anything they needed to add to the latest games. Like Sonic Mania, literally just still looks like the Sega Genesis games because that style just holds up because they're cartoony. Cartoons hold up.
Mhm.
But I always said to myself, man, like PS1's gonna be one of the only generations that like you will they won't no one will ever make a game like that. Be like, oh yeah, I'm making it in this, and I was wrong. Like people are legit, they start honestly. Valheim, other games have kind of done it, but like to go all in, Valheim was like really like it was the first game that like that was
It
huge
really
that
yeah.
has
Yeah.
PlayStation 1 inspired graphics because that couldn't run on a
Mhm.
PlayStation 1 those games, but with the whole modern lighting, like low poly but modern lighting, I think is a
Yes.
nice touch. It really adds something
Absolutely.
to that style, and that's the same thing they're doing. It's the lighting. It's those old pixie graphics, but the lighting, like being in a house and having the lamps flicker and do weird things, and having the lighting, like you know
Exactly. You
that
have that
that
shadowing and
yeah
it all uses that to really make the effects just kind of just scare you and whatever. Like I'm thinking the puppet combo games, but even Valheim, you see the shadows just to get the idea of the different things in the distance.
Right.
So it's really good. They use it really well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then I said stay out of the house. They also showed Nun Massacre, the new levels that came out from Nun Massacre, then the new um I don't want to call them monsters, but like the new nuns and the other characters that you're going to be chased by. They also announced those. They showed a game called Power Drill Massacre. Then also along with Jordan King, he did recently release, I mentioned on the podcast a few weeks ago, the Booty Creek Cheek Freak. The one
I
that
love the name.
I know I you want to say that 10 times fast, like a tongue twister. That when you go camping in the woods, and then of course trouble starts happening. You get the warning. The way the trailer shows, it's kind of like in Bloodwash that you're kind of warned and whatnot, and it's like you gotta watch out. Yeah, stuff's gonna happen now, and then of course stuff happens. And then you saw that came out from Jordan King, and he's got another game coming called Night at the Gates of Hell. That one looked really good because a lot of the puppet combo games, they're chaser games. So like Murder House, you get chased by this like guy in a bunny suit throughout this whole house. And but Jordan King games, you have more of an adventure before you die. You know. But Nights at the Gate, it's a zombie. It's inspired by Italian zombie flicks, old Italian zombie flicks from like Lucio Fauci and Bruno Mattei. So you have to fight against zombies, find other survivors, and you got to make your way out and you got to survive. And it looks really cool. I definitely recommend checking out the trailer for now. And
Yeah, that
I'm
one
gonna
looked.
be
That one
keeping an
looked.
eye for that.
Yep, that one looked really interesting. That the one that they said was
Yeah.
inspired by the Italian zombie flicks. Like I
Yes.
said, they're quirky games. They're like really they're quick. They're fairly quick playthroughs. So I mean, but if you want something like a little different, I've only watched Pfeffer play them. I haven't played them myself, but they look really interesting. If you want just like a change in scenery of the types of games you're playing, I see big
Mm-hmm.
things for these people. Like they're pumping out the games because they're fairly easy to make.
They are.
So
No, it's true. And honestly, they started off just making games on Patreon. They started off really small. They had a small group of people supporting them on Patreon, and then they would come out with a game like every few months and with the help of the Patreon members in there. But look at how much they've grown. They're pumping out a few games. They have all these announcements. They made their own Puppet Combo Direct, it was about a half hour long. I think that's awesome.
yeah, no, they
They're
that's
getting bigger. They're coming to
yeah.
consoles. They have and Murder House, the book. They've got a
Oh,
book coming out
that's
for
right.
it.
The book, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
talented.
yeah.
It's a talented team. No, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like they're doing a lot for being like a weird PS1 niche, very niche thing. Like there's somebody that I'm glad that they're in my in my view right now because
Mhm.
it's gonna be interesting. It's like I always think back to when we played Dead by Daylight when nobody
Oh
played that
yeah.
game. Nobody. That game was out since like 2016 or something like that or 2017 the latest, but I'm pretty sure it was like 2016. Anyway, I remember Mike always wanted to play that. Oh, let's play Dead by Daylight, and I'm like, what the hell game is
Yes.
this? And it was some silly little game that we all bought. Nobody. And then all of a sudden, it just came into the full zeitgeist, and everybody was. Oh, it was free on PlayStation, and once it went free,
Yep.
everyone started playing that game. It's like,
Yep.
what the hell happened? Like all of a sudden, all these people are playing freaking Dead by Daylight. Everybody on the in the Twitch world, especially.
Yep. And they're still huge. They put out great updates.
Yup.
Everybody goes crazy for the
It's
updates when
just
they
it's
put
just
out
wild
things
to
too.
see this studio go from like nobody knew who the hell they were to like all these people are playing their damn game. And
Mhm.
I feel like that's gonna happen with Puppet Combo one of these days, where we're gonna be watching a
Absolutely.
Game Awards or Summer Games Fest or E3 or whatever, and all of a sudden it's gonna be like some massive, and it'll be like a weird ass game, like you know what I mean? When they make their
I can't
first,
wait for that.
you know,
Yeah,
I feel
because
like
it's a solo dev, honestly. It's the one guy.
oh, I see, but
It's, Ben Kokuzo or
no, but
something,
you said then
Kokuza.
there's a couple of people because
'Cause then he, like, partners up with other people, but, like, Puppet Combo initially started as the one guy.
that's what I'm saying. It's probably grown since then.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's cool.
Um. So yeah. So that's really cool. I'm definitely looking forward to more stuff from them. But yeah, we
Absolutely.
should probably move on to some news.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot to talk about. So well, you know, if you're on PlayStation, the Crash Bandicoot 4 is gonna be on PS Plus this month. So that's yeah,
Mm.
I'm excited because I'm like I kind of wanted to see what that game was about because that was the brand new one and that you know Activision made. But you know it's there, it's free. I'm gonna try it. Man of Medan, I thought that was really cool, and
Ooh.
that now people are gonna be able to play that, and then now you have
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
sure what Arcadegeddon is, but Arcadegeddon is the other game. Um,
Arcade Geddon. I have no idea what that is. I guess we'll try it out once we get it free on PlayStation.
exactly. Oh yeah, so as you saw, we were talking about before, Klonoa. What you think about that? That they
I'm
wanna
excited.
that they're hoping for it to be so Klonoa, which is a game that came out on PS1, right? And what was Klonoa about, Pfeffer?
So Klonoa is a really cute side scroller. It looked 3D, but it played mostly 2D, but you were a little 3D guy. Um
Like 2.5, right? Like 2.5D.
yeah, it was so cool. I thought it was so cool because I don't even remember how young I was when I first played it. I rented it from Blockbuster and I'm like, this looks cool. And I go home and I fell in love with the game. It was a really fun adventure. It made me laugh. It made me cry. Um,
Like it legit, that was like the first game that made you cry, right?
yeah, it made me so sad when blah 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 happened, you know? And I definitely recommend it. Everybody should buy this so the developer can make more
Yeah.
Klonoa games.
So yes,
I honestly haven't played the second one, but the first one was really sweet. I love the last song in the at the end there when you beat the game too. And that was one of the longest like the first longer games that I played. It's was a platformer. It's not like a full-on RPG or anything like that. But it was still really fun. I really enjoyed it.
no, that's really cool. I always think it's cool, like the game that you grew up with a slightly different library of games that you played. You know what I mean? Like you were a Super
Mhm.
Nintendo kid, and you know you had
Yep.
freaking, you know, you played some good games on well you had Sega Genesis. You guys talk
I
about
had Sega Genesis too.
yeah, you took and you
My
had
Vector Man.
Saturn. I think yeah, Vector Man. You were talking about that and how you had a
My Saturn.
Saturn. Yeah, that's crazy too.
I played a lot of Need for Speed on my Sega Saturn.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I wanted a Saturn so bad. I always thought it looked so cool, but it was just like you know if you were gonna pick one or the other, it was always like that anomaly. You know what I mean? Like I knew everything about PlayStation and you know Nintendo was always there, but then it was like Saturn. It's that you know it's like that section over there that nobody's ever at. You know.
Yeah.
It was always intrigued me. Like I always wanted one, and they always had like one game on, you know, demo or whatever. But man, but yeah, that's really cool that you know. So yeah, they're saying that if it takes off and it's a financial success, then they will be making more of some other remakes from the other like the Game Boy Advanced I think titles and stuff like that. So that's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So and then this I found kind of sad. So Spellbreak, I was just thinking about that game. I was like, man, nobody plays Spellbreak anymore. Spellbreak was that wizard, freaking
I
Harry Potter.
remember.
They called it the Harry Potter Battle Royale, and it was
Yes.
really cool. You got different spells, and you know
Yep.
you know to fight each other, and after a while you would level up, or you could level yourself up to get better moves and stuff like that to fight against, or you would get like gauntlets and stuff to put on your hands so that you would have
Mhm.
different types of magic, and it was really cool. I thought it was a really good premise, but it was another battle royale, and it was okay for what it was, but you know, it didn't grab me specifically. And then once we stopped playing, that was it. But yeah, so
Mhm.
that's by a company called a studio called Proletariat, and they are being bought out and absorbed into Blizzard, which is interesting that
Mm,
they're probably buying them now before this Microsoft shit happens, so that it's not Microsoft doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, no, Blizzard bought
yeah.
them, not us. That's not totally what's it called,
Oh
antitrust.
yeah, the loopholes.
Yeah. So they're gonna be working on World of Warcraft. So I guess maybe some of that story building or some of that,
I
so
see.
or maybe
So
they're gonna.
the Spellbreak servers are going to be ending sometime next year or so, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yup, I think that's it. They're gonna shut down the
Mm-hmm.
game. I'm like, that's sad. This is why I don't like to spend too much money on games, because it's like, if it's not popular, it gets shut down and that's it. Niantic
Yeah.
is going through that. This is a side story that I heard earlier, that Niantic, Pokemon Go,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they haven't had another big game since then. I'm sure the money's kind of drying up on You don't even hear about Pokemon Go all that much anymore.
Mm,
So
yeah,
I'm sure
no,
they have their
no.
whales and stuff. But yeah, they tried was it them who tried the Minecraft thing that didn't work out? Then they tried another one. I don't know if it was done for the Minecraft thing, but they tried a couple of other things that they had to shut down. And so now,
Oh,
they fired like 100 employees, and yeah, it's like they can't. Yeah,
oh.
they haven't been able to make their next big game yet.
I know,
Um,
and they have that Peridot
yeah,
game. That's I guess what they're trying out next.
and some like football or basketball thing. I don't know, something like that. Um, oh yeah, so freaking
Something's gotta stick.
so this guy, right? He goes in. So it was a shareholder who asked about F-Zero, and they were like, "Where's F-Zero at? What's good?" And the articles are making it seem like he spent $40,000 to ask a question. No, that's not how that works. So to be at an investors meeting, you have to be or a call, you have to own 100 shares of Nintendo. So the guy
Okay.
had stock in another company. I forgot what company it was, and sold that stock and bought Nintendo shares back in February. So it's like he been owned the stock. He just he didn't think his question would get looked at, or he just kind of threw it out there like, hey, what about what's going on with F-Zero? But the way the freaking clickbait was like, oh, man spends $40,000 just to ask Nintendo about just ask about F-Zero. I'm like, no. If he would have did that yesterday, then fine. Like he bought that shit months ago. Like that wasn't the grand scheme. I don't, at least from what I read, I don't think it was the grand scheme. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, and maybe I didn't read this right, but I'm pretty sure I know for sure he bought it back in February. That's when I was like, what? Like, but I don't think it was specific. I think he was just like kind of like a Hail Mary. You miss every shot that you don't take. So I think he just like
Exactly.
submitted the question and they actually read it. I think that's really what happened,
I
because they could, I don't
I
think they,
respect this guy.
right? I'm sure if you have hundreds of investors, like you're not answering questions all fucking day, So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so
I
Nintendo.
like that. Asking about F-Zero.
I know they were like, no, we have
I
no
like that.
plans for F-Zero at the moment, which sucks.
Oh, that's good.
Oh man, so much. And then speaking of like games that are not gonna be made, no Sly Cooper is coming anytime soon. No,
Mm-hmm.
what's the other game that they make? Sucker Punch makes uh uh Infamous. No Infamous. The last Infamous
Mm.
game was the PS4 one, and they haven't made the next game after that was Ghost of Tsushima. So from rumors I heard, I think they're working on the next Ghost. So that,
Oh.
yeah, I think that's what's happening. I think they're gonna make another one, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I have a feeling they're just making other stuff, and it's taking long. And they need these PS5 games to come out, and
Yep.
they need these live action games to come out. I mean, live action games as a service to
Oh,
come out.
yes.
So in my opinion, that's probably what's going on. Like we need big budget games and games that are definitely gonna sell, that people like and some guy was like, oh, they're not making Sly Cooper because that's beneath them. Like, why would they even hint at that in Ghost of Tsushima? Like, you could find a painting of Sly Cooper in that, and that shit was the dumbest shit I heard on Twitter. This guy is saying like, oh, that. I was like, this literally has nothing to do with it being beneath the studio. The studio has a publisher that they need to answer to, Sony, and or PlayStation rather, the brand, and um you can't, they don't get to choose what they want, just like the guy who wanted to make another what's it called, Days Gone.
Mhm.
He
Mhm.
wanted to do it, and they didn't want to do it. So to say, oh, it's beneath this. No, it's about the studio either doesn't want to do it, and that, or even if the studio wants to do it, Sony, you know, you're just you're making a weird assumption when it's more likely that Sony doesn't want them to make that. That's
Mhm.
really what's
Mhm.
going on. Sony's either letting them, maybe they don't want to do it, and Sony's like, we don't care because it's not making money anyway, or Sony's like, no, you need to make a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, or you need to make another new IP because we like the other thing you pitched. You never know.
Mhm.
Maybe it's old, and maybe it's just those people aren't even there yet. Who I mean anymore? We don't know. So
It's true.
and then Infamous is like, I think they're just trying new things. Those games will make a comeback for sure. Just I think right now they're focusing on what's working and games as a service. That's what they're gonna
Yeah,
be.
they're pushing that hard.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because come on, like look at Ratchet and Clank. That only sold what, like a million and change. Like people don't play it's not a big. They want to sell more than that. They want Elden Ring on every release. That's what they want.
Mhm.
12 million copies, 15 million copies sold in a month.
Mhm.
That's what these publishers want. A single player games would be crazy if they could always sell that way. And unfortunately, 3D platformers just aren't going to sell that. They're not, unless you're
Mhm.
Nintendo. It got to be like amazing. And then Ratchet and Clank came out at a weird time too, when nobody had a PlayStation. So that's another reason why it's not really selling.
That's
So
true.
there's a chance it'll blow up more because people are gonna want that game. Oh, I got a PS5. I want to see that Ratchet and Clank. That's the game I've been dying to see. So
Yeah.
I think they need more PS5s out there. I think that and Sucker Punch probably needs to make more other games. But yeah, but yes, going back to Nintendo, we also had since our last episode, we had the Nintendo Partner Direct that our
Yay.
beautiful Pfeffer hosted. Hi,
That's me. Hi.
that is you.
Yeah, there was a lot that they showed on there. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were happy. They didn't live stream it though, surprisingly. Um, but I wonder why. Maybe they just didn't want to see anybody talking doo-doo in the chat
Also, it's
live.
just a video that started playing.
Yeah.
Oh, they
I
didn't
had
do
to
the
go.
premiere. They just
They didn't do the premiere. They just released the video. Mhm.
maybe it was because of that. Because I mean,
I'm
you still see
sure.
the comments though, so them chatting doesn't really make it. Maybe they just clicked the wrong thing. Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know. Cause I was waiting for it when I was streaming it and it didn't start playing because you started they're like, okay, it's gonna start at 9 o'clock and it just never started playing. So I had to dig in a few extra clicks and found the video just sitting there. I'm like, oh. But what does suck though, honestly, that I found a lot of people on Twitter went ahead and said is that they just went and they clicked through the different timestamps to see what the different things that released. So they looked at it within like 2 minutes and just judged the shit out of it from there instead of just, you
Uh
know,
yeah, that's what's bad about not that. That had to have been a mistake. I don't know. That's weird.
yeah,
Because like you
I
said,
think
then
that's
everyone's
weird.
clicking forward and then can see don't even watch it.
Exactly.
Who knows?
Exactly.
Maybe it was a test. Maybe they want to see what would happen and see how many people actually watched the whole thing versus just clicking through it. I'm sure it was.
Maybe.
Who knows? Or it was a mistake and they just clicked publish, like, oh shit, I didn't premiere it.
Like, whoops.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yep.
oh well.
YOLO. But
But
we've
yeah,
got a near automata
that's cool.
coming to
News.
Switch.
Yep.
I thought this really great because that's
Hmm.
got great music. That's supposed to be a really great game. Um, yeah, I would actually want to play that, but it's kind of sad because every time I look at the Nintendo Direct, I'm already thinking, oh, can I play that on my Steam Deck? Can I find it on Steam already? Which it's
Pretty
more than
much.
likely already on there, or
And
if
on
it's not coming
sale.
to exactly, yeah. So it kind of sucks. Um, kind of not a good thing for Nintendo in that sense, but it's always fun to look at these things. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. That's going to be a horror game in 2023. Super Bomberman R2.
Yeah, that looked pretty cool. That's gonna have like 64 person like battle royale or something like
That
that.
looked really good. That made
Yeah,
me think like, why haven't we tried Bomberman before already?
I know. I know.
It looked really good. It looked really fun.
Maybe we'll screw around with that
Next,
one. Hmm.
hey, we can get the kids on there too. Shoot. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy
Now
Collection.
that I'm excited for. So that was on DS, if I'm not mistaken,
Hmm.
and I remember trying it because I had a R4 card with all the DS games. So I remember trying it, and it was good. I remember being good. I was like, this is pretty fucking good, and I was really impressed with it and upset that because by this time the game was old because 3DS had been out when I finally tried. This was a few years ago, before obviously before the Switch came out, but DS hasn't been relevant since the 3DS came out. What, 2011? I think the 3DS came out 2012. So it's like by the time that came out, like uh um by the time I played it, rather had been out already, and I think there's three other games on 3DS or something like that. That different Mega Man game. But anyway, Mega Man Battle Network is really looks really cool. It's more of an RPG, turn-based RPG that uses Mega Man
Okay.
characters and stuff like that. Yeah, and has like story and stuff. And there's some like strategy to it and the way you fight. It's like 3v3 type of thing. But yeah, from what I remember, it's been a while. Like I said, I only tried it like once, but I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it looked really good too. Then there's Pac-Man World Repack. That looked cool. That actually reminded me of
Pac-Man
Super
2.
Pac-Man Adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that point and click game.
Pac-Man 2
I'm
the adventure,
hoping
right? Of like Pac-Man or something like that. Oh, the adventures,
yeah,
something like that.
exactly. Yes, yes, yes. It was a point and click adventure and I hope they release that someday again. I
That would be
hope they
cool,
redo that.
yeah.
That would be so fun. That makes me want to go back and play
So
that now.
so I completely forgot. I forget what company, damn it, but Miss Pac-Man, um there was a like an IP situation with Miss Pac-Man because technically Namco didn't come up with Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man was more of a hack that these guys came up with later on to sell to
Oh.
arcades. So there's always been like a weird they've released the game though. They've released Miss Pac-Man or whatever,
Huh.
but due to some legal dispute, they can't legally put her into any games. And so they
Wow.
just came up with like Pac-Man or Pac-Wife or something like that. Yeah. So
What?
apparently, yeah, she won't be in the classic Miss Pac-Man won't be in this game. I think they changed her out.
Oh wow.
She won't be called that, even though she'll probably look exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
What was?
Okay.
But we can keep going. What was blank?
Blanc is you're a fawn, a little baby doe fawn,
Oh, that's
and
right.
a wolf. It's a black and white aesthetic, the whole all the animation. And then of course you gotta work together to get through the adventure together. I thought that was really cool. I'm looking forward to that. That obviously. It's a Pfeffer game. Return to Monkey Island.
So yeah, so with that one, I don't. Did you read anything about that? What happened with this guy? So so
No.
so first of all, so he's being harassed because of the art style. Let me just start with that, right? Which is kind of ridiculous in the sense that every Monkey Island has changed its art style between games. No two Monkey Island games look exactly the same. So apparently, like I the people were so angry at the changes of how it's going to look and the style of the game that they started, they went on his blog and started shitting all over him, doing personal attacks and saying he's a fucking moron. And he was just like, you know what, I don't even want to talk about the game anymore. He's like, I will not be
Wow.
discussing the game anymore online. My passion for talking about it has just been withered away or something, something along those lines. And he was just, yeah. I'm like, yo, what is going on? It's like 0 for 2 it's like 0 for 1,000 into, with the fanboys this week. For something like Monkey Island, like you would think like a little point. These are older guys. Monkey Island is not a young people game. So it's like, it's one thing if it's like kids, but it's like these, come on, the youngest person got to be like 25 and that's pushing it because their like dad or older brother played it or something, or owned it. That's an old ass game or old ass franchise. Remember the last game came out 30 years ago, and the guy, who originally worked on it, you would think like, oh man, this series that I love, is being made by the, it's like Metal Gear coming back and it's Hideo Kojima back on it, and I'm
Yeah.
shitting on him because I don't like the way Snake looks. Like I get it, but and that's exactly what would happen. you know, that's exactly what would happen if he changed the way Snake looked. But I'm not gonna. I'd be like, you know what, that looks like shit. But I'm not gonna go cursing him out. I don't give a fuck that much to go curse out. Like what does
Oh
that
my
do? It doesn't
gosh.
do shit, but put
It
pressure
doesn't
on
do
these
anything.
people. So I'm
Exactly.
like you can voice like I really wish you didn't change art style. There's something I like the way blah blah blah, and I think this is a really huge mistake. That's all you could. It's all you could have to say, and you're getting your point across. But to be like you're fucking this and that and blah blah blah, it's like that is they're bonkers for that.
Freaking yes, exactly. And a lot of developers have been really taking some shit lately. So you know what? Good for him to say I'm not gonna speak on the game online anymore. You know what? This is why we can't have nice things. So
It's
fuck you guys.
ridiculous, man. I know
It's
it's
dumb.
tiring. It's tiring because it's like, yeah, really make it weird to be a gamer. It's like I'm associated with you're fucking
Exactly.
weirdos. But
Yeah.
anyway, the next one was the next one was we have Mario plus Rabbids, right? Spark of Hope. It's I have to agree that I was listening to a different podcast. They were saying how like like that game, the sequel for this should have been a lot sooner when it was still kind of new, but it's looking
Mhm.
interesting. And I think there's still going to be some hype for this game.
Yeah, that looks
Um,
fun.
yeah. So apparently they have like a little more creative freedom, and so it sounds like everyone's gonna have their own like little move set. So before everyone had a cannon and they had like the same weapon, so it was just which was kind of corny in a sense that it's just a Mario skin since nobody was
Mhm.
different. But this one they're gonna be different. Like they're gonna have their own specials. Like Luigi, for example, is gonna have like a bow and arrow, where Mario's gonna use something else, and things like that. So it's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be
really
like,
cool.
yeah, complete. Like everyone's gonna be different this time. It's gonna be
And
like,
then you can do like tag team moves and stuff like that.
yeah,
I saw that, yeah, during the direct. I thought that was really cool.
yeah. So I thought, yeah,
New moves.
that's really really cool or whatever. Um, did you know that the Rabbids were first before Minions?
Oh, really?
Yes, the whole Rabbids being crazy and weird and blah, 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 the Minions, took inspiration from that, not the other way around. So Minions actually stole Ubisoft's idea of
That's
having like
interesting. I
little
never
guy.
knew
Yep,
that.
they were first. The rabbits were their personality and the things was before Minions.
Wait a minute. So Ubisoft had an original idea?
You know what it is? They had a lot of original ideas. Is that they're so played out, you forget that they came up with the damn thing. Like
Oh
it
my
just,
gosh.
it's such a trope and it's such a Ubisoft game that you forget. Like, well, this was original 10 years ago, and you guys stopped being original. So the rabbits, yeah, are so old. That
Wow.
was an old ass idea. Yeah. Um,
That's crazy.
it goes to show that they really haven't come up with much else. You know what I mean? Like they have some,
Yeah, yeah.
not for nothing though. People don't give them enough credit for the good writing that some of these games have. Like I gotta say,
Mhm.
like their writing team is pretty good, but not perfect, but I've enjoyed the storylines to some of their games. But yeah, but
Mhm.
that's it
Mhm.
about that. Was there anything else? Because we're getting short on time here, and I don't think we need to mention every single thing. Anything else that was
Let's see. What?
that PG time, the Legend of the Right. That reminds me of like Comic Zone because it's gonna be like a 2D with colors, and it looks like it's gonna go through like a booklet, like a coloring book or something, or some kind of art
Mhm.
book. Yeah, so that gave me some Comic Zone vibes.
Oh, okay. I like that Disney Dreamlight Valley. That's supposed to be like Animal Crossing kinda,
Oh, I
or
see.
one of those. I forget one of those games, but you get to just kind of have your avatar running around with all the Disney characters, and I guess you do things. I don't know.
Yeah, that looked
I
alright.
thought
I
it was
mean,
really cute,
yeah,
so
that's
it kind
definitely
of
not a
got
game
me.
for me. Yeah, I ain't gonna be playing no Disney and Dreamlight Valley. Like, oh, what are you playing games? Oh, I'm playing this. Oh, this Disney Dreamlight got me stressed. B.
Fine, fine, fine. I'll keep all the stress. Do you know what Daisy did today?
Oh no.
Gosh.
Sonic Frontiers. I think Sonic Frontiers is gonna be better than people realize. I don't know. I have a feeling that once we get to the meat of the game, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be like better, the best Sonic game. It's not gonna be the greatest game. It's gonna be but I have a feeling it's gonna be the best Sonic game to date, which is not saying a lot. It just means that like it's just a little bit shit instead of being a complete shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that's what I think. I think it's gonna be a mediocre game, but the best Sonic game that we've gotten in a while. Watch. Like something like mid, like a seven, like a solid 7.5, maybe an 8, because some things like really like surprised you, and the open world wasn't as bad as we thought it was. Like maybe it starts off empty and you fill it up with things, and by the end of the game, you have this giant like hub world with things. We don't know. We don't know. I don't have faith in Sega at all, at all. I think it's gonna be mediocre, but I think, and I don't think the ideas I'm coming up with are gonna be the same. I just think there's a chance that it'll be like at least worth checking out. That's what I think. I think it's gonna be, like I said, the best Sonic game we've gotten in a long time. Not necessarily the best game in general, but just maybe the best Sonic game. Yeah.
What else was there? Minecraft Legends.
Yeah, we already knew about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Portal's coming to the Switch, the
That
companion collection.
that was kind of interesting.
That was cool.
So
That was a cool announcement to find out.
I feel like that's like Valve saying we're sorry. Here's one of our best games that we've ever made on your system. We're sorry for a peace offering.
Truce.
Maybe,
Truce.
right?
We're taking all your player game base because everything's already on Steam, and then they're not going to really buy anything on double the time anymore because of the new Steam Deck. So
I
here.
think that we're whatever the Switch 2 is. If it wasn't going to be that powerful, now it's going to be powerful. Like now it has to be better than the Steam Deck. It has to be. It can't
Now
be.
they're going to bring in the OLED screen.
Yeah, like I mean that would be a big selling point if they could really.
That would be huge.
Yeah, if every single one of I feel like that's what it should be. Now you gave out OLED screens. Like now that's the definitive Switch you're getting. So it's like your next one better have an OLED, and watch them do some dumb, because it's Nintendo. It still won't be an OLED Switch. I mean OLED screen. But
no,
I don't know, man. But the last kind of, not, it would have been bigger had Microsoft not stole the announcement, but Persona 5 Royale's finally coming to Switch. That was a game that when I first played, freaking, if you haven't played Persona 5 and you can withstand turn-based fighting, like, RPG, Japanese RPG mechanics, I highly recommend it. Great art style, great story, and even with turn-based stuff, like it's like where you can befriend the monsters that you're fighting, which I think is really cool.
Yes.
So
I really like that. I know I fell off of that game, and but I really enjoyed playing it.
That's a game I'm going to play on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect game for the Steam Deck, because you can play it on the go, you can play it whenever you want, you can pick it up, you can play a few fights and continue on your adventure in the game, and it's got great music in it. I love their like jazzy, upbeat music. I love their music, and of course you have really cute Morgana in it. Really cute, that little cat thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the game is really good. I highly recommend that game. If you have a Switch, then get it on the damn Switch and let it be like a game that you chip away at and you play like when you're bored or whatever. Like, and you really just I highly it's a huge game, I will admit, but it has like a lot of simulation mechanics too. Like you're a high school student, so it's a high school simulator on top of a full blown RPG. So you go to school, you got to talk to people. You go to class. Your day, things happen on your day to day, and that's where the little gamey bits come into play. And then once you do all that, like think like Animal Crossing that then has fighting. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what's missing from Animal Crossing is like the action mechanic. It's like once you can do all the little activities, but once you've built your house and gotten the things and bought almost everything you can buy, it's like that. Now what? Now what the hell do you do? There's no fighting. Exactly. There's no taking that elsewhere. So it's a little bit of a management sim on top of a full blown RPG if you're into that type of stuff. Highly recommend. And then the other games 3 and 4 are also coming to Switch again, as well as Xbox, Steam, which means Steam Deck. Yep. And then they're getting a cloud version of a Plague Tale Requiem. No Man's Sky's coming October 7th, and Captain
Mm-hmm.
Velvet Meteor. What's that about? Do you know what that one was?
I don't remember.
Okay, the jump and dimensions plus dimensions. Oh wait, no, I don't know what that is. Oh, if you're like farming games, that Doroman Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom. That's like Story of Seasons is like a Harvest Moon. So
Ah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
that's the Story of Seasons went to Doroman now.
Another harvesting kind of game is Harvestella. Ah,
Harvestella.
sorry, I just wanted to say that.
I know that one. That was who was that? The Square made that game. It's like a farming sim with like interesting fighting
Yes,
mechanics. Like
yes, it was Square. Mm-hmm.
that
And I
was
don't.
that looked really interesting. I don't know. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it looks really pretty too because it's from Square, so their
Yeah.
their
Most of the stuff looks
their
great.
animation
Yeah.
style. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of oh yeah, and just so some other side news besides that. Then we had fucking EA. Somebody again with no fucking sense. Or is completely what's that called, detached or out of touch rather, with
Mm-hmm.
their own company, goes and says, "Oh, I think the joke was supposed to be like she's a 10, but she only plays single player, meaning she won't play video games with you." You know what I mean? I think that's what they were going for. So they go and put a tweet that says she's a 10, but only plays single player games. And the irony of that is that EA was like at the forefront of saying that people don't want single player games anymore. And on top of that, they're coming out with single player games in the next, with things like Dead Space.
Oh my
They're
god.
coming, in the next Star Wars, game, single player game that recently, that came out back in 2019, the sequel to that one. That was it called Jedi
Mm-hmm.
Fallen Order's sequel. It's like, come on, really? Like, oh man, the tweets went crazy. The people were saying some
They were
wildness.
just bonkers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was such a mistake, and it was just like people just like, me, myself included. It was like she's a 10 but hates EA. Like,
Yep.
like there's not a but there. It's just that's amazing. It's like I don't know. They're ridiculous. I just like I don't care. I don't care about none of that stuff. I thought it was like them being kind of snarky, but people take that shit personal. It just makes you look stupid and again out of touch, and it's just and ignorant to your own fucking history. So it's like,
Mhm.
come on, get your shit together, EA. Like, what's really going on here? You're already fuck. And then it's like you say that, but then you've had a bunch of flops these last few years with Anthem flopping,
Oh
with
my gosh.
Battlefield flopping, with it's like they the all the shit that happened with Star Wars a few years ago. Like, yeah, some of these games have finally turning out good, but it's like and you had, I mean, not for nothing, they had kind of like game of the year technically with It Takes Two, but it's like
Yes.
again, you guys really shouldn't be making jokes right now when you're just in a shitty state. Release some good games, build some of that good faith back up, and then maybe you can crack a joke about that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or joke on yourself about it. Like you need to, they needed to wait till after Dead Space, after the next Star Wars game. They needed to wait till and then crack a joke. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Whoever was in the social media, they were just like, "This is funny. We got to join in on this," and it's just fail. Take that L.
Right? Like people like multiplayer games, right? But like, what if you can't choose a temper? She won't play with you. Like you have no idea what you did, and it was a person who probably had no idea that it got to be a younger person. That's what I think. Or they just,
Yeah.
like I said, they thought they were being funny, kind of like that, double entendre, innuendo of their own bullshit, and it was just like, no, you should have known. You should have known. Oops, I think my mic's breaking.
Broke it.
You should have
Okay.
known that was gonna backfire. The fact that you didn't know that, but everybody who read that knew, like, what the fuck? Why are they saying this?
Yes.
Maybe they saw
Yes.
Radio Shack bugging out. And they thought, hey, we could do that
I
too.
know, right? They were trying to be cute. They're like, the Radio Shack's over here talking about squirting and stuff, and they're
That was
like,
wild. Yeah.
do you know why Radio Shack's been acting up like that though?
Yes. Yes, they
Okay.
became a crypto bro.
Yeah, the crypto bros bought all that stuff, including so that included all of their social media. So they're just bugging out.
I know they're just being fucking silly. Like, yo, we own Radio Shack, bros. Like, I'm gonna just say some wild shit on this thing, and it's the guy, something Diaz or whatever. That I don't know if you ever seen those YouTube commercials. That's my Ferrari, and he starts talking, and it's like an infomercial about how he makes money, and it's just him and his Ferrari's like behind him.
I've
Yeah,
never seen
you
that.
know, oh my god, it became like a huge meme because if you know, this is before YouTube Premium or whatever, it's like every single fucking video would have this guy. Oh, it's my Ferrari. You remember like skipping ads and shit like that.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in so long because like honestly, that's probably like better. I would give up Netflix before I give up ad free YouTube. Like I'm sorry, like
I agree. I
I
agree.
can't.
We need to try out Hulu, honestly.
Yeah, but again, fuck ads.
Got Thundercats.
I would have to pay for the top tier, and I don't want to do that.
Oh,
Uh,
fair. Okay.
but yeah. So either way, yeah, I heard about Radio Shack. I thought that was really, really weird.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think
Yeah.
EA just wanted to follow up with that and fell flat on their stupid faces.
I know all these social media, these corporate companies, even what was it, Nutter Butter?
Oh
Trying to
yeah,
they're all being cute and sassy on the social media. Jeez.
I know it's
I
like
don't know. I
shut up
enjoy
EA.
it.
It's like everyone's having a good time. Oh this if she's a squirter, marry her. Oh I love what they said. I love nuts in my butter or
Oh, N is for the way you nut at
oh
me.
my
They were
god.
going for the song, and then of course I think they put out a statement like apologizing, and the other people were like, "Oh, but it's like the song, like come on." And
Oh
everybody's having a good time, and then EA had to be that one friend that takes it too far, and they're just looking at him like, "Really? What's
right.
wrong with you?
And then
Sit down.
I know, right? Everyone's like looks over like, shut up.
You don't make no funnies, EA.
Like
Get out."
exactly. Like nobody want to hear from you. Don't talk. You lucky you even hear. You lucky you even there that will listen to you. You lucky we saw your tweet. Like you're pushing it now. Like just talk about what you know, video games. And you barely know that. You know?
Exactly. Gosh. Take some lessons from Ubisoft.
No, Ubisoft is a whole nother fucking shit
Oh
show.
no,
So
that's
yeah,
I mean,
like
I'm talking
just
about game development, not behind the scenes. Let's not even go there.
like they need to take lessons from fucking Activision and get bought out. Well, they try. They want to get bought out, but
I'm
nobody
sure they
wants that
do.
shit show of a fucking company just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I mean, I think that's all we got for today. It's been about an hour and 12 minutes right now. So, any last words? Anything else? Anything you want to cover?
Just Madison, that horror game is coming out on July 8th. I'm gonna be
Oh,
keeping an eye on that. I want to play that. And even further from that, July 19th, Endling Extinction is Forever, where you're a mother cub surviving with her cubs in the desolate world and trying to just survive everything, the wilderness and people, because you don't know what's out there. You're just like the last
ooh.
surviving family of fox cubs and everything. So keep an eye out for those. That's it.
All right. But thank you for that, Fefer. I appreciate it. Again, thank you for everybody. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. If you could like and leave a comment, that would be awesome. And yeah, let us know what you think.
Exactly. Let us know in the comments and stuff, though. What you're looking forward to the most? Are you looking for puppet combo stuff, Nintendo stuff? I don't know. What
Do
do
you
you
want
like?
an F-Zero? Are you gonna play Mega Man Battle Network?
Are
Or
you gonna buy
Pac-Man World?
Klonoa?
Oh, Klonoa, you
better
better
buy
buy Klonoa.
Klonoa.
No, you have to. You have to.
You
Sorry.
have to, and say it in the comments. Say, I will buy Klonoa for Fefer.
Exactly. For yourself, for Fefer, so we
For
can get
yeah, not necessarily for exactly.
because we'll have
Tweet
it
it at
already.
me too.
Word
it.
up, tweet.
Tweet the world.
All right. Again, thank you everybody for listening, and see you on the next one.
Bye.
Peace.